I'm Marcel. I write a blog Lesser Known Gems, and today I'm making a video for Shakesalong. Shakesalong is a read-along created by Crystal March, video down below, and this month, November 2016, we have been reading Much Ado About Nothing. Ergo, I thought it was interesting to have a discussion about nothing. Because words have changed meaning, and words have had double or triple entendres that has been lost throughout the history. And the word nothing is a great example of that. And while you can still have fun from reading the title, as is with the modern understanding of it, knowing other words and what it is a pun of might give you just the little extra of understanding. So, what can nothing refer to? Well, one way of understanding nothing is to understand a word that has almost been lost in the English language, which is noting, and understanding that nothing in Shakespeare's time was pronounced like noting. So you could have sort of said it's much ado about noting. Noting is a word that refers to overhearing something. Do you now understand why that's an interesting thing to know about it? Because overhearing is this play's bread and butter. You overhear everything, and everything is based on what people are noting. And especially the main conflict is referred to as noting, which is again a bit lost if you view a lot of the modern interpretations, where Claudio looks and sees Margaret, who he thinks is Hero, cheating on him. But in the original text, and I quote Don Pedro, "I am sorry you must hear, upon my honour, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they've had 1,000 times in secret." He doesn't see her, he hears her. And by hearing her, overhearing her, he thinks that she is no longer a maiden. And I've already talked about the importance of this subject, about women being accused of being unfaithful in Shakespeare's plays. And I'll link to the video down below where I talk about how this theme is in Cymbeline and Othello and Much Ado About Nothing. But it's also interesting that overhearing isn't just referred to around the main plot and about how much ado is created by this noting. Overhearing is relevant to so many other things. There is a servant of the brother of Leonato overhears that the king will help Claudio get Hero. Benedict and Beatrice falls in love because they overhear what other people have been saying, and it's through overhearing that Dogberry understands what has happened. So while overhearing is in the main plot between Hero and Claudio is portrayed as something bad, in the rest of the play, a lot of good things happen around overhearing. So what then can be in the word nothing if it's not just about overhearing? Well, another aspect of nothing, another meaning of nothing that is almost lost, is a sexual one. You see, some people are born with a thing And some people, myself included, have been bored with nothing. Yes, nothing is a slang for vagina. And therefore the title of the play can be heard as a pun on Much Ado About Vagina. And very often that can be interpreted in two ways. Either it could be, well, it's much ado about women. That's and therefore showing how the plots created in this, which is it's pretty much just men having no idea how to actually deal with the women that they are in love with, and make much ado about women that they really shouldn't make much ado about. It's very easy to sort of deal with these women, and these women are portrayed as much more level-headed and easy and not understanding why all the fuss is happening around them. Or it can be referred to as what you do with the vagina, as in the heterosexual sex. And what's interesting, as again with the quote I've already had, is that unlike how it has been portrayed in a lot of the films, both Joss Whedon and Kenneth Branagh, where you see someone having sex, what they actually have is overhearing someone having sex. It's pretty much about slut shaming. It's about saying that, oh, since she has had sex, she's somehow a lesser being. And maybe Shakespeare with this title is trying to talk about, oh, does it have to be like that? I mean, it's just sex. Do we really have to make such a big deal about this? And sort of saying that, calm down. And if you, for example, have viewed the Joss Whedon edition, that despite the fact that it does show someone visually seeing her having sex, and therefore it can be interpreted as infidelity because hero at this time was engaged, Joss Whedon does in fact play a lot about that maybe slut shaming is the theme of the play, and this understanding that Claudio and Don Pedro are idiots, which the play does sort of support. They are idiots and they don't really get to redeem themselves that much of it before they sort of have to actually grovel to say, yes, we were idiots. But there is another way of interpreting the word nothing, which is how we interpret it today. Much ado about nothing is pretty much where you're making a lot of fuss about something that might be quite easy. And of course, this plays back to all the other ways you can interpret nothing. But maybe what Shakespeare actually tries to say with this title is, calm down. It's okay. You can just say you like one another. Because this is actually something that Shakespeare does a lot in his other plays, most notably in Love's Labour's Lost, which is pretty much a mockery of the people who uses sonnets and fancy words to explain their love instead of just saying, I like you, you're okay with me. And saying maybe it's the simple solution to doing it. You don't have to make all this fuss. Calm down. Or maybe the meaning of the title is more complex than just one interpretation. Very often we talk about Shakespeare and we talk about these great stories with Hamlet and Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet, and we translate the text into more modern English and into an English for children and everything like that, and say he's this wonderful storyteller, without understanding that in this time you weren't supposed to create original stories. That was frowned upon. It showed you as a lesser writer. His genius is in the words. His genius is in the language, and maybe by saying that there is just one interpretation, we are taking away from the brilliance of Shakespeare. Or maybe, as this play says, and I'm quoting Benedict, "Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner." There's a double meaning in that. Maybe Shakespeare is saying that we're making much ado about nothing in trying to understand what he means with nothing. But what do you think? I mean, what interpretation fits more with your understanding of it? Leave your comments down below or on Twitter using the hashtag Shakesalong. And remember, it's better to be a witty fool than a foolish wit.